Paperino is with his red rush deck with Queensguard teched in, and Crunchy is going to his red control list.
I mean, this
Now,
is how Crunchy got to Modnic, right?
right.
So we'll
Now,
see.
we think red control is favored. How much do you think Queensguard's going to help? Because I feel like having a 6 life creature to gather or go up the side to contest defending Axe Grinders is actually a good card. Do you
I think
agree?
I'm not sure. Like, I think in a defensive deck, having 6 life creatures is very good because you can keep them out of range of the opponent's creatures. So it's just removal that can get to them. But in a rush deck, you're walking on top of the opponent, so they can just hit them with like ground shakers and such. So I'm not sure it's as big a tech advantage against red control as it would be against rush. And if it was, everyone should be running them, right? Like if it's good against control and against aggro. So I mean, it's good here. There's no strong trades to take. How would you play this? It's actually very awkward dealing with that.
Yeah, I'm still thinking. Despite not usually roping on my turns, I actually would be roping a couple of these lines because these are games where you have to really think about how it's going to play out in the long game because every land you make against a rush deck matters throughout the match.
Yeah.
Um,
So he just made the land for. I think that's wrong because Paperino can now just step on this and make a land to the left, which is very hard for Crunchy
I
Bacon
think
to
it
get to.
depends though if you're running Devouring Plants. If you have a Devouring Plant in your deck, I think
He's
getting
running
that
all this
land in
though.
front of your orb is really important, and he needs to be making a mountain so that he can have the third mountain on the following turn. So
I think I
I
would
think
have made
it's
it to the left of the orb to make because if you make it to the left of the orb, Paperino has to make his own mountain and then step on it with the Queen's Guard to hit face. So at that point, he can't summon anything off red, and in general, like the spot he wants to hit you on is also the spot he's trying to summon on. Whereas with this line, they're now different spots, and it's quite hard to interfere with anything made off mountain.
yeah. Plus, it accelerates the Queen's Guard to step forward and make that mountain to cut off
Oh,
the
look,
left side of the
Paperino's
orb.
making double lands, which is so. My guess is he double lands on the left if he double lands, so that he can set up the good ice grinder spot safely. And
Yeah, this is
I
kind of strange. I think I would have made a mountain there every time.
I think, I mean, I think it depends because this is very strong later in the game.
For denying
Since
bomb slingers on the axe grinders,
I mean,
yeah.
for denying everything, it's incredibly hard to interact with the left half of the map if the opponent's done this. Um, oh, that was a really good draw. So now he can ground shaker and flame spitter and finally get an acceptable lineup.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty good. Oh,
Oh,
but he doesn't take it.
okay. So, I mean, that might be good because flame spitter deals notably with King's Guard, King's Faithful really well. So what happened because he didn't take it? I guess not much. Yeah.
Well, what
So
happened is he's probably going to miss out on a collection because the ground trick you wanted to keep moving left,
right.
and now you
Or
won't have the 2/2 to
yeah,
have
you just
collected.
had the flame spitter out, so you missed 1 mana. But
Yeah.
is Cypher's Wrath a reward? I mean, Bomb Sling is nice. Yeah. So now you flame spitter it, and you're quite far ahead.
Do you
Oh, I
d
guess
do you
not quite.
consider flame spittering in front of your face that you could collect? I guess not.
Uh, no, I don't think so. I'd rather lose 1 mana and have Ground Shaker in a good spot. But yeah, this
Okay.
Shaker's in a very commanding position now because it guards everywhere that Paperino could summon.
Now, because Paperino's going to be playing Queen's Guards, it's not going to be buffing those Fireburners. Fireburners actually only a 3/3 at the moment, which means Hate Seeds are still costing 5. I feel
So
like Crunchy Bacon, as this game goes on, is just going to develop more and more of a
yeah,
lead.
he's in a pretty good spot now.
In fact, the Queen's Guard play is really suspect to me because you're playing into any single damage ping.
Against an opponent with Flame Spitters, so normally that's only Ground Shakers, but yeah, it's Flame Spitters as well. As Crunchy, I think unless I have a cold read on my opponent having Garrodon in their control deck, sorry, in their
Well,
rush
even
deck,
if
it's
even if
plus
your opponent trades and ciphers, that benefits the Ground Shaker cipher play rather than the Queen's Guard play, doesn't it?
yeah. So what would you have played? Maybe
The Keen's Faithful, right? Or is that
yeah,
just more risky to ping cipher?
it's it's about the same to pings, right? Except you do 1 more damage to the Ground Shaker and it powers up. Yeah, I would have preferred that because haste units taunt units kind of have haste. Oh, that was a good roll. Um,
taunt units kind of have haste.
Yeah, because they force the opponent to interact in a certain way the
Right.
turn you play them. Like they basic like haste units. One of the big advantages. Oh, game over.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
okay.
Monet's just